Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, we're going to do another Doesn't Suck DVC edition on this edition of the DVC show. The DVC show is brought to you by DVCstore.com. You'll save thousands of dollars in your next DVC contract when you let the experts at the DVC store help welcome you home. Visit them at www.dvcstore.com or call them at 1-800-550-6493. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friend, Sean Falk.
Hi.
Jackie Gailey.
Hi, guys.
From the DVC store, Mr. Jerry Saito.
Hello.
Joining us via Skype, as always, the lovely Mr. Pete Chidley.
Hello, everybody.
And back in the production nook, the not quite as lovely, but very talented, Mr. Corey Fiascanero.
Welcome home, and thank you.
Well, welcome to the show, folks. Sorry, got to get my coffee in. It's been one of those mornings. Hope your week is off to a good start. Couple things that I want to get in housekeeping. Got some exciting stuff to talk about. First, I want to mention that if you are looking to rent out your points, this is a great time for you to call this guy next to me, because they just raised the price on what they are paying members to rent out their points. It has gone now, it was $14, now $15.50 a point when you rent them out. They have also raised the price on the rentals. It's $18.50, but that is across the board. There are no premium resorts. So it's the same price for Saratoga as it is for Grand Floridian. So opportunity for some great deals on rentals. Great way to pay off some of your membership dues, or apply them to things like a magnificent Alaska cruise through Dreams Unlimited Travel. All sorts of things you can do with that money. But $15.50 a point now. DVCstore.com. Give them a call, 1-800-550-6493. Very excited about that. I was really happy when you told me you were doing that. Very excited. Also, I want to give a plug for DVCfan.com, my DVC blog. We have some great stuff up there. We have just opened a little merchandise shop on that. Got a few things in there right now. We have a lot of stuff being designed. Will Perry, our creative director for the DIS, is unbelievable with this stuff. So he's working on some really cool resort-specific designs, something different. So really excited about that. You're going to head over to DVCfan.com. Of course, the DVC Fan Facebook group, which awesome group, along with our Disney Vacation Club forums on disboards.com. Tremendous amount of information there. And do you know I am coming up on, I think February 26th is 1 year since I became a DVC member.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's fun.
I've got a blog going up on that, whatever day that was. I think it's 26th. I have a blog going up about what my thoughts were, what my feelings are now, a year in, versus what I thought coming in.
Oh, that'll do so good.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to see that.
very excited about that. All right, so let's get on with one of my. This was a Sean idea years ago, a few years back, for the best and worst shows.
Yeah.
To do Doesn't Suck. I know some of you get all uptight because suck is such an awful word. Get over yourself.
And actually,
See, those you people, you. But I'm sorry. What were we saying?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. So the way this works is these guys do not know what topics I'm going to throw out. And I will throw out a topic, and then they have to respond by holding up a paddle that says either suck or doesn't suck. And then we have a little discussion about it. The first one, I want you guys to not react immediately. I want you to think about this, because your immediate reaction is going to be suck. But annual dues at your home resort. Now, the reason I say think about it is because you got to think about what those dues go for and what they're there for. And so, I mean, nobody wants to pay the dues, right? But in reality, we know we want it to be beautiful. We want it to be well kept. We've invested all this money in it. So, keeping that in mind, at your home resort, and if you have multiple, just pick one. At your home resort, annual dues suck, doesn't suck. Hold up your paddles. Look at that. We have unanimity
Wow.
at the table. Everybody is holding up a doesn't suck. Now, if I hadn't given the qualification, would you have held up that sign?
I would have. Yeah.
I would have.
I would have still, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Pete, let's talk to you. What's your home resort, and why don't the dues suck there?
Animal Kingdom Lodge or Animal Kingdom Villas and Boardwalk Villas. It's part of the deal, right? I mean, you have a buy-in, you have an annual maintenance fee. That's part of the deal. It's still a heck of a lot less than what I'd be paying if I was trying to stay at those resorts, paying cash. So I don't mind it at all. It keeps the resort at the level I want it to be. If I'm not getting good service at the resort, maybe I'm going to say it sucks. But you know, I found those two resorts to have high quality of service and high quality of amenities and everything like that. So it's worth it.
Awesome. Sean, what I mean, and your dues are you're at Alani.
Yes. Yeah, I'm at Alani, so I mean I appreciate what my dues pay for, so I don't mind paying them in order to upkeep it. That's where I bought, and that's where I enjoy going. They use the money to make sure that it's as authentically Hawaiian of an experience as it can be, compared to the other resorts that are around the Oahu area. I know we stayed at another resort after having stayed at Alani as well, and I was like, wow, this is just... I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't.
Oh, it was the Hilton. We stayed at the Hilton Hawaiian
Yeah.
Village, and it was a bad caricature of Hawaii at every turn.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just one of those things. If you want authentic, if you want the best quality stuff, you got to pay. So that's it.
Jerry, which resort and why do your dues not suck?
Well, I own Saratoga and Boardwalk. I mean, majority of my points Saratoga Springs, and you know, in reality, I actually get questions about maintenance fees all the time, and I agree with Pete that it just keeps the quality of the resort there. But other than that, you know, people ask about what happens to the resort if there's a fire, if there's a hurricane, if something, you know, terribly goes wrong. Those maintenance fees cover those costs. They have reserve funds, they have insurance, so you don't really have to worry so much about, you know, if you had a piece of property that was, you know, down in Florida that you're having to maintain outside of those, you know, they're your own costs, so to speak.
Okay. All right, let's do another one. Because I will just say that I also vote doesn't suck on annual dues. And I have 5 or 6 resorts that some of them suck a little bit more than others, but generally speaking, they don't suck. All right, let's do this. I thought this was an interesting one. And again, take a moment, take a beat before you respond. Add-on-itis. Sucks, doesn't suck.
I'm going to say it.
I mean,
I know it's a tough one.
I don't have add-on-itis.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I
so.
do, but but it doesn't matter if I do. But I'm going to say it doesn't. 'Cause
Well, I do, and I say it doesn't suck. It's one of those guilty pleasures in life. It's an expensive hobby, but I got to tell you, you know, I don't want to give away my blog for my 1 year, but I am loving life.
Yeah.
I am loving life as a DVC member. Fiasco, you were holding up a suck.
Yes.
Why does add-on-itis suck for you?
So I definitely feel it.
Because you're so cheap and you still have your first nickel?
Exactly. But I feel the add-on-itis, and I'll stay at places like Animal Kingdom Lodge and stuff, and I have a very small amount of points. I only have 75 points, and how I use that is for little 2-night stays and stuff, and it's perfect for me. But I always feel like I do want more. And I will get more after I pay off this contract, but I still have some time to pay off this contract. But I always feel like, oh, I could really use another 100 points, or I could really use 150 points. And I want to stay at, I would like to do maybe New Year's at Bay Lake Tower or something like that. But I need to not do it, but I always feel tempted to do it.
Pete? Well, actually,
Yeah.
let's go to, hold on first. Let me go to Jackie. You said doesn't suck because you don't have add-on-itis.
I don't have add-on-itis, just mainly because.
You mean doing this show hasn't? Because I blame this show
Yeah.
on the amount of money I've spent on DVC in the last 12 months.
Oh, definitely. Now, if we got down to do an actual real live vacation at Disney World, more than like, I don't even know if I can really say once a year, because we really only come down for like a weekend here and there.
But that's the point, is that, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I love that, I love that flexibility. I mean, of living here.
Definitely.
Of living here. People
Yeah.
are like, oh, why do you own DVC? You live in Orlando. Well, because I like to be on Disney property. Just because I live in Orlando doesn't mean I don't like being on property and in these hotels.
Yes, most definitely.
And so I have this flexibility of being able to say, oh, you know what? I've got a free weekend, in 3 weeks. Let's see what's available.
Yeah.
And it's
I
not a big
love
deal if
that.
it's not. And if it is, great. And, I was just able to score for Valentine's Day a grand villa at the Grand Floridian.
So we're coming to stay with you in one of those bedrooms. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like I was saying, I did the same thing for Bay Lake Tower theme park view. And I did it like 2 months ahead of time.
Nice.
So really good, really good.
That's the good part about it, is that those one day things are easy to come by sometimes last minute.
But even we're doing, I booked my mom's 90th birthday is in December. I was able to book 7 studios and a 1-bedroom with my boardwalk points at the 11-month mark without having to walk them. At a time of year that's really difficult. But now my entire family can come and be here for her 90th birthday, and I'm not having to pay for 8 rooms.
Yeah, that would be a steep.
And I just want to clarify, because some people got confused, because in the blog that I wrote about it, I mentioned that I'm putting my mom up in concierge, and they want to like, how do you use points to get concierge at Boardwalk? You don't. I'm paying cash for that. She loves concierge there. She loves the Boardwalk. They take such good care of her. I want her to have the best experience possible. And the only way for me to guarantee that really and truly is put her and her sisters in concierge. They dote on her. It's adorable. It's
I just
adorable. And
love
she
that.
loves it.
Oh.
So, okay. Who else had you said add-on-itis doesn't suck for you.
Right, for 2 reasons. One, I sell DVC, so I love to help people buy additional points. So that's one
Cha-ching.
reason. Yeah. And then second, you sometimes just need more points. So when you need those extra points, it's you got to add them on. You get those extra
And
nights.
it's so easy.
It's very easy. Yeah. I added on. I mean, I have 2 contracts. I mean, I fell into the add-on-itis just personal,
See, our points are only used for big family trips. We don't use them
Well,
for
then you're
our
doing it
little
wrong.
weekends. I know.
Well, I use mine for the weekends, but it just it wasn't enough. So I ended up buying a few
Getting
more,
some more.
and it worked.
Pete, what about you? You're not here
Well,
in Orlando,
I
so
said that it sucks because I have other things I could be spending my money on, but instead I find myself that I bought more points. Actually, once you own the points, it's great, but spending that money to buy another contract, you got to decide on what's important, and you decide on the contract. That can be a little tough. I just bought a new contract last year. As you say, the show certainly brought that out in me. I might have more points than I need now. I don't know, but I like having them. But the bill doesn't always settle well with me. So having that drive to be like, I need more points. That's tough.
Sean, no add-on-itis for you?
No. I don't have
Not
any.
yet.
I was a little confused about what we were saying sucks or doesn't suck too. Like whether it was having add-on-itis or whether it was
having add-on-itis.
I mean, it doesn't suck, I guess, for the people who have it. But so I mean, that's why I picked that. But I mean, I don't.
Well, sometimes it does, because there is sometimes that regret.
Right. Yeah.
That you get that that craving. You want more points. You get it, and then you realize, oh wow, I just spent a lot of money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even then, like my home resort's at Aulani because I am one of those that's like I live in Orlando, so I don't need to go stay on property. I do visit property all the time. I do go, dine in a lot of the restaurants and everything. But I mean, I had to pay all that money for a house, so I have my house. So, and I'm like 10 minutes from property, so I just don't. It doesn't come up enough for me to need to do that. But as far as like traveling out to Aulani or something, like that works for me. I'd just rather use my extra money now to do like cruises, and now I've done Adventures by Disney and that kind of stuff. Like I just have my Aulani option, but I don't need. Even now, I'm struggling to use the points that I have. I'm gonna end up having to rent them out because I haven't used them.
I would say like just.
Well, that's because you got me.
True, yeah.
I was gonna say, the more you use it, the more you're kind of like, I want to do this more. Like,
Right,
I
yeah.
like this. I need to come back again.
Right.
So that's where you start running into add-on-itis. Is like
Right.
you run out of points because you're like, this is fun. Oh wait, I need more points.
Oh yeah, I mean, I bought in August, and I got a 170 point contract, and obviously, like, I got my 2018 points they gave them to me. I still have 340 points, and like it's February at this point, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these points. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, so I'm gonna have to rent them out because I don't know. I don't have the time right now to go out to Hawaii.
I keep telling you, I want to go to Hawaii.
I just don't have time. I gotta work,
well,
so
fine.
I just don't have
You
time.
gotta
how
pay
it
for all
works.
those points.
I know.
Doesn't
I don't
have
have
time.
time.
Doesn't have time for me. All right. Let's do this one. Sucks, doesn't suck. Adding more DVC resorts at Walt Disney World. Show me your answers. Doesn't suck, Pete? Doesn't suck, Jerry? I gotta watch how I'm saying that. All right, so this was not an instantaneous reaction for folks. There was some consideration. Jackie, why did you hesitate before holding up your paddle?
Well, there's so many.
Jackie said, for those listening, Jackie voted doesn't suck.
Yeah. There's so many resorts now. And so I was thinking, gosh. But then I remembered that I was really excited about Riviera. And after it opened, I was still really excited. And after I stayed there, I was even more so like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then I remembered that they're building
Reflections, the
Reflections. Yes. That's what I was going to say. And I was like, no, that's not it. But I'm pretty jazzed about that too, because so they're finding spots to put them.
Then I'll be the lone voice here in saying I think it sucks. And here's and not that they're adding more resorts, the restrictions, the resale restrictions suck. And so no, I don't think they should add more. And given one of the episodes we're going to record, Mr. Shidley is going to talk about an article he wrote or a post he put on Disboards about Riviera sales and how those restrictions are hurting them. And I hope it does. I really, really hope it does hurt them, because I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's terrible to create the class system that they're creating. I understand certain restrictions. I understand the restrictions like around the Moonlight Magic. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that's paid for. That can't be paid for from dues. That has to be paid for from people purchasing direct from Disney. That's where they take that money from. I get saying only the people that bought direct from us can get to do that. That makes perfect sense to me. But this, you can't use your points here or here or here because we're trying to shut down a market we don't like because we want everybody buying direct.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yet not realizing or ignoring the fact, arrogantly ignoring the fact that very resale market you're trying to hurt is the reason people will buy into this in the first place. Because they want, even if they're buying direct, they want to know that if something happens in their lives, something changes, which happens. None of us plan on it, but it happens. That I can sell it and get back at least a decent portion of my investment. Mm-hmm. That is why I say adding more of these restricted resorts sucks.
That's
And
a
that
really
is
good-
the correct answer, by the way.
That's a good point that you make, though, because the only thing that's similar to that in life is buying a house. Because when you buy a house, that might not be your forever house when you buy a house in your 20s. And so that someday you'll be able to sell that house. And usually you make
Recoup a
money
decent
off
amount
of
of,
it.
or at least recoup a decent amount of what you paid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's nothing else really that I can think of off the top of my head that's like that. I mean, you spend a ton of money on a car, but it depreciates the instant you drive it away. And I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I understand that. I see that point too.
So, Pete, what about you? You said doesn't suck.
Well, I wasn't thinking about the resale restrictions. What I like is, more variety is better. It just, I love my home resorts, but I like being able to try different resorts. I'm excited to try Riviera. I have some points that'll work there, so that are older points that don't have the resale restrictions. So I'm excited to try that. I'm excited to try Reflections. I hope they keep building more resorts. I agree with you that the resale restrictions absolutely suck.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that they rethink it. I hope that they rethink it because, even the DVC salespeople are saying we hate it too, because there's a lot of people that we're trying to sell Riviera, and there's a lot of people that won't buy. I ran into a sales agent that I know recently, off property, who was lamenting that to me, that it's made selling Riviera so much harder. And you know what? I think we need to keep up that pressure. But while we're on the topic of Riviera, now that it's open, and most of us have gotten to experience it. Pete, did you get a chance to go over and see it?
I haven't yet. I'm going to be down in a week, and I'm going to definitely check it out.
Okay, so but at least the information's out there, the videos, the photos. Yep. Now that Riviera is open, sucks, doesn't suck. Wow. Okay, so we have most people holding up doesn't suck, but we have one person, Sean, who says it sucks. And why does Riviera suck?
So I picked suck. Part of it sucks because I am the one who came up with this, but sometimes I feel like it's too harsh in something because it doesn't suck necessarily. It's not like I would turn down a vacation if somebody was like, "Hey, we're staying at Riviera,"
But you're not going to. You wouldn't use your points to stay there.
I would not use my points to stay there. I think that the points are too expensive. Like I think the price point on it is just too many points. I think that there's certain things about staying in a deluxe resort at Disney that appeals to me, and like a part of it's like walking in this grand lobby, and that's not there for sure. And there's a lot about it. Does feel very adult, and I enjoyed that, but I just don't think there's enough there to keep me staying compared to other places that are more resort feeling. Obviously, they have to do more as far as Aulani and some of the off-property ones. But even on property, Animal Kingdom Lodge is a place that I can go and spend 4 or 5 days and not go to the parks if I don't need to. Riviera is only something I would use to sleep and go to parks. And if I was just going to sleep and go to parks, I might as well buy at Saratoga Springs or somewhere cheaper.
All right. Now, Pete, you haven't been there yet, and you held up doesn't suck. Why?
Well, I think everything I've seen is a nice resort. The rooms are very nice. The amenities are nice. Yeah, the lobby is not grand or anything like that, but I think saying the resort sucks because the resale restriction sucks isn't fair to the resort. So I reserve my final judgment until I actually go and stay there, which might be for a while, but I'm definitely going to go visit soon. And from what I've seen, it's a very nice resort, and so I'm not going to criticize that.
It is. My vote is doesn't suck. I really liked it. I thought it was beautiful. I agree the lobby could have been better. But It is the first DVC resort at Walt Disney World that is genuinely an actual deluxe resort, not deluxe adjacent. It's got it's a standalone DVC resort with valet, with all the amenities that go with having a deluxe resort. It's got a signature restaurant. The level of service is unquestioned at this resort. I loved our Grand Villa. I thought it was stunning. I thought it was really well designed. I think the artwork
Yeah.
in this resort took it to a whole nother level. So, is it the first place I'm going to stay? No. I do agree with Sean. The point values are on the high side. And that turns me off. But generally speaking, all things weighed, pros and cons, I err on the side of this doesn't suck. And Jerry, we'll wrap up with you. What's your thoughts on?
So I went both ways actually. I said
You were
I did. I kind of
struggling.
I don't like the restrictions, which makes the Riviera to me suck. But in terms of resort, just standalone, forget the restrictions. I think the resort is nice. I think the rooms are beautiful, amazing. But outside of that, I agree with Sean. There's really not much there in terms of you're looking at Caribbean Beach, or it's very close by. You have to take the gondola if you want to get really anywhere, or the buses. But I mean, I liked Riviera, but I think like a 2 or 3 day stay would probably be. I do like a split stay. I would maybe stay there a couple days and then go somewhere else.
I just felt like people who typically stay at DVC resorts and who own DVC, they're people who go, longer times to Disney. They want to spend more time in the room. They want to spend more time. It's not like parks every day open to close, go, 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 as much as it is like it's more of a relaxing kind of experience with DVC, and I don't want to hang out in Riviera. I just don't, even compared to some of the other ones like Old Key West. I feel like I'm very like Old Key West. I feel like it's secluded, and I feel like I'm at my at a homey kind of place, and Riviera is just surrounded by other hotels and just other. There's not. I don't think there's any activities or
my
anything.
My single biggest complaint is how jarring it is, how close it is to Caribbean Beach Resort. Now, when I wrote up my review, some people were taking shots at me because I was talking about line of sight theming, and I can see the Grand Floridian from Bay Lake Tower, and I can see this from. You can't walk to it. You can't spit and hit them, right? So it's in the distance. So yeah, you can, but it's not. This is like they put a condominium in Barbados and themed it for the south of France or Italy, depending on what part of the hotel you're in. This is not the same as being able to see the Grand from Bay Lake Tower. This is, oh wow, there's the Caribbean right there in my backyard. So clearly any thought of theming, of overall theming for this resort went out the window when they built this. So I guess I had the last word. All right. We're going to have to wrap this up. We'll do this again, though, because I still have topics. I still have plenty of topics that we can go on with, but we'll do it. We'll save that for another episode. That is going to do it for this week's edition of the DVC Show, and we will see you again next week. Have a great one.